If you've got delicate materials to clean, like fossils, opals or antiques, then the Vaniman Sandblaster is a game changer for you. In the past 6 years, I've mainly focused on cleaning fossils, but I do know that lots of other people use sandblasters like this to clean other delicate materials. I'll also be comparing the Vaniman to a much cheaper alternative that I've been using for years, to see if the price of the Vaniman is really worth it and if the old Sandblaster can still keep up with the Vaniman. First, to be upfront, I do have affiliate links for both products in my bio. That means if you decide to buy through my link, it helps to support the channel with no extra additional cost. And on top of that, I spoke to Vaniman and they were able to give all my viewers 10% off if you buy through the link in my bio. So if you're thinking about getting one, definitely check out the link in the bio and save yourself some money. Okay, we begin by quickly going over the basics. Before you start sandblasting, you need the right setup to avoid damaging your equipment. First, you need the air compressor, an air compressor hose and the air filter. This is crucial to ensure that you're supplying your sandblaster with clean, dry air, because moisture can really clog up and ruin your sandblaster fast. Once you have that, you'll need another hose to connect everything to your sandblasting setup. After that, you only need the blasting cabinet that's connected to a vacuum that filters the air. Get this right and you're ready to start sandblasting. When you unbox the airbrush, you'll find a few included accessories, like a jar of aluminium blasting media, a handle for hanging your airbrush, and a protective mask. However, we don't need the mask since we'll be working inside the blasting cabinet. Unfortunately, the sandblaster doesn't come with a connector, so you'll need to purchase one separately to connect it to your air supply. When opening the lid on the sandblaster, be sure to hold the canister with both hands. Avoid doing it this way, because it can break like that. I learned this the hard way when mine broke. Accidentally shooting blasting media into my eye, so definitely don't make that same mistake. Before filling the canister, be sure to sift the blasting media first. This helps prevent clogs and ensure smooth operation. I've already sifted everything and filled the canister with sodium bicarbonate. If your airbrush gets clogged, you can try clearing it by covering both ends with your fingers, one at a time. If that doesn't work, you can use a small pin to unblock it. As you can see, it easily removes the rock from the fossil, but it needed a refill after about a minute of use. First, connect the Vaniman to your air supply. Then open the lid to fill the canister. Before closing it, make sure to brush off the inside of the lid and the surface of the canister to prevent the blasting media from wearing down the lid over time. When filling, try to avoid getting media into the shaft once it's filled. Close the lid and start blasting. If the Vaniman gets clogged, carefully disassemble the pen slowly. Keep in mind that there will still be some pressure inside, so open it gradually to release it. This will also blow out some of the blasting media. So don't worry if you see some blasting media shooting out of the pen when you slowly disassemble it. Once disassembled, make sure to remove any blasting powder from the tip before reassembling it. Sometimes it might clog again right after use. If that happens, just repeat the process. There are two different Vaniman blasters, the Mobile Pro Blast and the Master Mobile Pro Blast. The key difference between the two is that the Master model features an instant on/off function. This allows the blasting to stop immediately when you release the foot pedal, preventing bleed off, offering great control and reducing the need for frequent media tank refills. Now, let's move on to the demonstration of blasting a tortoise fossil with a Vaniman. I was able to blast for up to 20 minutes without any issues. However, as the tank empties, the sandblaster becomes less powerful. These are the 4 most commonly used blasting materials in fossil preparation. So we go from least hard to most hard. You always want to start with the least hard blasting material to see how effectively it can remove the matrix. Personally, I've mostly just used the sodium bicarbonate and the aluminium oxide. But if the sodium bicarbonate isn't good enough for you, I would suggest that you start slowly working your way up to a more harder material, just to make sure that your delicate material that you try to clean doesn't get destroyed by the blasting media. So in the end, it really comes down to your needs. The cheap Sandblaster offers more precision, but needs frequent refills, which can be frustrating over longer periods. But if you need larger capacity, then the Vaniman is definitely your way to go. Personally, I chose to use both. The cheaper one for its precision and the Vaniman for its larger capacity. So if you want to get your own Vaniman, click the 10% off link down in the description. And if you'd like to see the full preparation of the turtle I worked on in this video, then click on this video.